This is probably the most challenging record you have ever put on your turntable.
Salute. Lodi was good.
You already, bro.
I'm looking. Let me put this up here before I get any further. Under the fair use disclaimer, under Section 107 Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for the fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Salute to everybody in the chat. We're gonna, before I start any show, we always like to pay homage to those individuals who came before us, who are no longer with us. If you have a sick family member, if you lost a loved one, anything of that magnitude, man, this is a time where we, like I said, we give them their flowers to support their legacy. Their legacy gonna live on through us years down the line. When they go back and replay these videos, they'll see that we kept their names alive. So let's just take a brief moment of silence, and then we'll get on with the show. Man, salute, man. Listen, I guess I see y'all. I appreciate y'all patience. I'm definitely pull y'all up on the platform, but I'm gonna pull y'all up on a proper introduction wise. We're gonna let me see who in the chat. V79, salute, Queen.
Salute.
K Foodie, salute, Queen. Hustle Man, salute, K. Tim Lowe already 2 L's all the way sky high, fam.
You already know. Tennessee in the building.
No doubt. While everybody gets their snacks and so on and so forth, politics can be boring. So, just bear with us. But, a lot of things is going on, and we definitely need to tackle it to make everybody aware. This dilemma and these things that's going on is serious, man. It is.
Yeah.
It is serious, and it is it's kind of scary.
It is, bro.
All the way around the world, it's definitely kind of scary. No matter what your political party is, it's almost like grab first, ask questions last. But without further ado, let me bring up, one of my good comrades, the good brother. This is family. Definitely helped us build the platform. Mr. Ralph Reeds. If you like to just, shout out your channel, do everything you need to do, and then we'll introduce the next guest.
Thank you for having me, Chip Lowe, and salute to the twin over there. All right, salute everybody. Thank y'all for having me. My name is Ralph Anthony Garcia, and I am Ralph Reeds on the United Ronin Networks, and I also have a podcast called Bounce, where I tell old stories of my former 27-year career, among all of other things like politics and shit like that, whatever comes to mind for y'all. But here I am, folks. They asked me to take a couple of minutes of my time to share some things about these topics right here coming up.
Okay, appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Next, we got another great content creator. She definitely from the home team is one of the ones that's been around since day one. She not only familiar with the culture, but is very well versed as far as the political arena is concerned. She also has her own podcast and so on and so forth. So I'll let her, do her thing. Salute, Miss Tasha. How you feeling?
I'm good. What's going on?
You can just shout out your channel, shout out where people can find you, so on and so forth, and then we'll, start knock to some of these topics there?
So I mostly do my political lives on TikTok, and I go by the name of Tasha P over there. Also my backup page, because if you know anything about TikTok, you'll get banned for saying the wrong thing. My backup is Loyalty. On every other platform, such as Clapper, Favorited, Fan Base, I am known as Black Royalty. It has a special spelling, so it's not basic. If you go to my YouTube page, you'll see the spelling. I made sure to put it in there. And I have some people, Facts Over Feelings. That's one of my homeboys from TikTok. He's starting his podcast up here too. It's for Gen X, so shout outs for that.
Yeah, salute. Back to the feeling. You already.
Glad you're the building. You know, hope you got your snacks ready. Man, listen, hold
Salute
on.
Ralph, salute Tosh. Word up. Appreciate y'all pulling up, man.
Listen, salute to Lucy. For those who don't know, Lucy just crossed the 1 million mark on shorts. You know, it's hard enough touching a million.
That's what's up.
On shorts, 1 million views.
That's a lot of short. That's a lot of work. You put in that work.
You know, by far, you know,
it's a lot of views.
Queen of the shorts.
No doubt.
Again, you know, y'all got wrenches, so drop your channels, drop your Bill, and everybody kind of network with each other. Wise, I'm gonna drop the link for you in a few. I know, you know, this is definitely a topic you know you want to chime in on.
Salute, Wise.
Give me just a few seconds and I'll get you squared away. But for everybody else in the chat, man, like on this particular platform, our goal is to network and help each and everybody grow. Like if the goal is to get monetized, it's to get everybody monetized. You know, this ain't our money, this is YouTube money. Let's get it. So while y'all are in the chat, I'm gonna on side devices, I'm gonna pull up your pages so y'all can get some watch time out. So you're sitting here, but I'm still running your pages in the background, so you getting some watch time out. So it's almost like helping you help us to help you, if that makes sense. You know, and again, anybody who has a channel, if you looking to sub for sub, the way YouTube is now, if you sub to somebody, you have to watch some of their content, or that sub ain't it's not gonna count. The way YouTube is doing it now is kind of crazy, but they're trying to cut down on the BS a little bit. So, you know, if you sub to somebody, watch a couple of their videos, comment, you know, here and there, and then, you know, everything will be everything. And again,
so what happened? They take it back from you?
Yeah, they take. Listen, if you ever go look at your analytics, right, and it'll say, you know, plus 49, like you got 49 subs.
Yeah.
Well, when you go back to your regular numbers, it'll show differently if those 49 people ain't watch a video or ain't comment, ain't do nothing. They just sub to you. They're like, They, you know, it's not, you know, you're not gonna pull a wool over the eyes no that way. You know, because it was some people basically creating an email and subbing to themselves numerous times off of however many emails they can create. So, Auntie Mama, salute, Queen. You know, that was their way of kind of getting monetized and so on and so forth. So, YouTube is cracking down. They are being a little bit more cautious. So again, whoever you connect with, just y'all watch each other videos, hit a like, comment. After this live, comment after the live so that if people can't pull you up, let's say they don't have a wrench, they'll be able to find you after the live and then connect with you that way. That's just some quick growing tips. Let's get into this content, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, you know, let's jump into this shit, nigga.
I'm looking outside, man. You know, you turn the news. Listen, this the new administration, and the policies and stuff that they're enforcing. It's almost like they're doing it with reckless abandonment, man. They're not really giving individuals an opportunity.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I pulled up Ralph. You know, having that Latina background, and he can hit us with, you know, from his side, his perspective.
Check
You know
it
what I'm
out,
saying?
y'all. Not to take up too much of your time, but I identify as a Black man with a Hispanic heritage, if that makes any kind of sense.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm a Puerto Rican Dominican, and you know, I've been identified as that, as a Puerto Rican Dominican Black man for damn near all my life. Now, with all of those things being said, it was asked to me, how do I feel about the Latino demographic basically outpacing everybody when it comes to voting, not Democratic, but Republican, conservative. They went the other way. And folks are asking why. Well, it's very simple. They want to let you know we're not the ones setting no fires. We're not the ones violating everybody the way y'all do. And let's keep it clear. We're here legally. We're here taking every step that we took to maintain some sort of legality here. So do not get us twisted with those violent felons over there. Now, they also asked me about, do we have some regrets? Now, okay, I didn't vote though, but I can speak for my Latino brothers because, yeah, there's a certain smattering of regret because you see Latinos being basically, or no, not basically, the ones being targeted first before anyone. But
Allegedly.
just let me, just to put a bottom line on this, you will see European and Asian actions on the world news. But when it comes to local news, you ain't going to see too much of that. You're going to see what happens here at home. And just so happens, the Hispanic demographic are the ones getting caught out there doing these vicious crimes and setting hot dog stands on fire and trains on fire, people on fire and stuff like that. So that's the problem here. And you don't see nobody going after the Europeans and the Asians. Why nobody going after no Russians in Brighton Beach? You know there's a smattering of them. Of course there are. But that's another subject.
Yeah, because only you see on the news is what?
Hispanic.
Yeah, Hispanic.
Guatemalans.
And you saw one Haitian, you know, remember that video, you know, he was shouting out president, yeah. So, yeah, man.
What's crazy to me about this, right? It's like like me myself, I'm half Puerto Rican, half Jamaican. So the crazy thing is they just throw the Mexican title on all Hispanics right now. Like every Hispanic is now Mexican. So send the Mexicans back to Mexico.
Sure.
Like they coming from
everybody in the
Honduras,
category.
from all over. So it's not just Mexican born individuals. It's people that was born Costa Rica, Nicaragua. But on the news, they are reporting and describing them as Mexicans. Everybody's Mexican. Like
so what you think, Chip? They're just going after the criminals, or they going after everybody?
Listen, if they was going after everybody, you'll see some of these Chinese restaurants closing down.
Come on,
expeditiously, super fast. You will see it, you will see
the pizza shops, the Italian pizza shops.
Man, listen, you wouldn't be able to get no beef patties or nothing, man. They'll be running down on everybody if that was the case. They're not. You know, if they are, if that's what ICE is doing, they backdooring them. They just listen, we're gonna set an example with this and give you time to leave willingly, or you next. So the crazy thing is, all of the people who voted for this, I would like to know how they feel. How do you feel knowing that you might have an in-law or a
I
family
mean,
member
that's what
that
they
is,
signed up for, man. That's what they signed up for. Okay. Well, go ahead, Tosh.
So first of all, this is way bigger than what people think it is.
Come on.
This is about power, and the white population is so scared of becoming a minority because it is predicted by 2030 the Hispanics will be the majority in this country. So that's why they've been targeting the Hispanic community from the start. And it's so much bigger than just them deporting them, because they are going after us. They're going after Jamaicans and Haitians. And there's a man that's locked up. He was plastered all over world news. He was married to his Trinidadian wife for 30 years. He blew up 5 ICE agents coming to get his wife. I mean, my homegirl Honey, she might be in the backstage waiting. I don't know if she didn't text me, but she might be. She got some audios, some articles. They detained some Puerto Ricans today because they were speaking Spanish in a department store. They detained them, a toddler and a mother and daughter, I believe it was, just for speaking Spanish. She had to prove that she was born in Puerto Rico, and then they had to pay wherever the detention center was. They had to pay to get a ride back to where they live. This is ridiculous. For speaking Spanish, like America has a home language, a native language. We don't have a native language.
I don't think folks voted for that.
They said that's going to be the #1 language, right?
I don't see
it is the language. It is the language spoken by the supposedly the majority of people here in America, but there's no native language to America. Just like there's no religion assigned to America, this is supposed to be the land of the free. Remember that, according to the Constitution.
Yeah, I want to shine real quick because I was doing some salute y'all. Yeah, salute the panel, everybody here.
Something on your mind, nigga. You ain't even saluting them. Nothing. You just coming in. Go ahead, now.
Yo, play. I've been in here doing content all day. I got like 3 videos I got dropped. I've been doing some skits. Just been in the studio, just working, man. Just bugging out.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm just going on the videos, but and this is one of the joints I did with the Latino. You know what bugged me out is like when Trump first came through his first term, that was his thing. The Mexican, the war, right? And that's what kind of didn't, because then the people went against him. The minority people, everybody went against him. Then 2 years or 3 years after he goes out, all of a sudden you hear about the Haitians, the Africans. They the immigrants now. They the immigrants. We was hearing that. Granted, we was seeing them around in Home Depots more than you start seeing the Mexicans and certain places. Then you started seeing the Mexicans and the Spanish people. Yeah, but they was here and they started in the media and everything. They started portraying them as the danger. They eating cats. They doing this. They doing that.
And all that.
So now you got the Mexicans and the Spanish. They say, "Oh well, it's not against us now. It's against somebody else."
That's right.
So he's not talking about us no more. He's talking about somebody else now. So now let's go vote for him because some of his policies we with or whatever the case may be. But you already know what type of person he was from his first term. But because he had the same policies his first term.
Yeah, he told you what he was going to do.
It's just his lingo changed on who he was directing it at. And that goes division with the people when you show how the dark-skinned and light-skinned people, separate because soon as he started going at the dark skin, the Latinos, they all voted for him. He what, 61, 62% Latino vote?
61%. I just looked it up myself. 61% Latino male demographic.
So what are we doing here? Really, I mean, they go to show how the politicians do their politician and do their talking and throw us in the loop and have us go against each other when we not knowing we going against each other. But we not going for the right, what's right and what's wrong. We going for, who he saying he's going to go against and this, that, and the third. What he's doing was wrong all the way around. We not going about it as human beings. We going about it as individuals, nationality, this person, that person.
Hey, yo, Doc, I don't mean to cut you. I like what you just said. I like what you just said. You know, after that, he went with the other, you know, Haiti with the dogs, and he just going to, right? But check this out.
Well, the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. But the problem is our communities are divided. For Asian Americans and for African Americans, we probably have one of the worst relationships between any community.
Well, I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too don't, in my experience, don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this country.
Thank you. What I have been trying to teach the Asian community is like, friends, do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with black blood? I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other.
You see, I mean, that's, you know, but you know, we won't never do it because the politicians going to do their politician work and divide us by saying some words or something or giving something.
That man said as disrespect. It's something about, I don't know what it is. Do you know just all over the world, non-blacks just got a problem with black people? They got people that come to this country that never been around black people in their life, don't speak no English, but they automatically know to not like black people. I don't know. It just feel like there's a thing there. Not everybody, because I don't want to never put a whole group of people in one box. So that's not what I'm saying. It's just that, you know, being online and looking at the memes and looking at the comments, because like I read the comments in a lot of stuff. You could get the tone of where people coming from the comments on certain things. Like the actual post or video will be about one thing, but the comments will be going so wild that it's not even about whatever's on there. It's just about people being divided, like Dark Man said, and like that man said. Like you can't. It's like you can recruit to just oppress somebody. You know what I mean? And as a black man, there's a certain tone. I think people just misunderstand. When you're not black and you say certain shit, we hear it a different way.
Yeah, and the first 48 don't help either. You know, these people could see all these shows and shit, these crimes with black people leaping over the benches and shit, trying to attack the judge, and first 48, and everybody is black and shit. You understand? They brainwashed. They're gonna come to America and be like, whoa.
People commit crime where they live at. People commit crime where they live at. So you think there's nobody committing crime in poor white neighborhoods? They're just not gonna highlight it. That's all.
Oh, they just made mistakes. They just made mistakes, or they have mental issues. You know, we are painted to be inherently violent.
Animals.
And
exactly.
For some reason, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm overreacting, but do any of y'all as black individuals feel like certain people just feel like they got a right to police us? They just got a right to ask us questions and tell us what to do.
That's white privilege.
Ain't no more freedom papers. Ain't no more freedom papers. We ain't got to tell
it's coming back? What are you talking about? It's coming back? I need you to understand, like outside of the city, they have ICE stops. You're going to have to prove that you was born in this country.
They got ICE
on the highway. You drive. Take a road trip to Atlanta. I promise you're gonna pass one on the highway.
Wow!
Right now.
Whoa.
You got to roll with your papers. You got to prove that you was born here in this country.
And they probably looking at it like, cause if you going through getting legal action and all that stuff is like you might as well just carry your paperwork because you don't want to get locked up and go through this and that,
Look,
But
the law is
they
the
did have a
law.
report that they can't just come running in your crib and knocking on your doors and asking this, that, and the third. They can't do that. They got to come with a warrant on that type of time. Now, yes, when people start to snitching and all that, but if you basically in the street, that's probably what they got the option to do, to pull you over. And just,
They ran up in that store with no warrant.
One second, Dark, you do know that schools and churches supposed to be sanctuaries. So if you were not here with your papers and you was inside of a school or a church, they wasn't supposed to go in. You're asking a tyrant to go by the rules. I need people to understand this man is a tyrant.
But I think
It is unfair. It is unfair that our black men are walking around here with 1 and 2 felonies, can't get a job, can't get an apartment, do not have the right to vote. But this man get to be the president of the United States with 34 felonies.
And his supporters just ignore that. Like when you say that to them, they say as soon as you say that to them, they bring up Hunter Biden, they bring up Kamala, they bring up the DA.
First of all, Hunter Biden is not a politician.
No, my point is
he's a civilian.
Everything except that.
Exactly.
Everything else
exactly.
Except that. Or you ask them, because if you look at what's happening now, they want to go back to, they really trying to make America great again, according to the time they thought was great. They could just roll up on you on the sidewalk, ask you where you're going, where you get from around here, and have control over everything. That's the problem. They want control over everything, and it's looking like how she said they losing control. Maybe 5 years is probably an overestimate, but I understand where you're going. I saw a video where a white man just said straight up and down, he know everything they do is wrong. He know everything they do is racist. But the ultimate goal is to keep them down and keep us on top. We got to dominate. So we're going to do whatever we got to do to dominate. He basically said that.
But see,
pretty much.
That's what's weird, because if you look at it, I think this is all just Trump being Trump and coming in and shaking up and doing whatever he want to do. And
Project 25, man. They already got it laid out.
Yeah, Republicans, look how they was moving before him. And look how Democrats was moving before him. They wasn't really trying to make these laws or move how he was moving before he came and started preaching the way he was preaching. So it's like, for him to come in here with this is something I think he's sitting there saying what he want to do.
He did.
MAGA, wait a minute. I needed to be clear that MAGA has hijacked the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Yes,
he has taken over. They've lost their moral compass following this dude. I don't know what he has on these people, but 1 second, Wise, I need people to understand that this picture is so much bigger than what people are thinking. Understand, he keeps talking about that 14th Amendment. He want to attack that. That's what gives us black people citizenship in this country. That's what made us citizens. And if he takes that away, he's trying to deport us too. This is a us problem as well. I need people to understand. And 1 second, Wise. I need people understand. The majority of America walked around here not realizing that there was no difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act. They thought those was two separate things, and they're the same exact thing, simply because they put the name Obama on it. So Obama instantly meant bad. So now he's playing with our civil rights by talking about DEI. And that's how he is chipping at the 1965 Civil Rights, 64 Civil Rights Act. Also going after the 1965 Voters Act. What a lot of Americans don't realize, especially black people, don't realize that these things are not cauterized in law for us. They have to be voted on every 25 years. So in 2031, we may lose our right to vote if this man stays in office. And I think people don't realize how serious this shit is. And if he gets to roll back or suspend the Constitution, we are no longer citizens. So he can say we need to go back to the continent of Africa and figure it the fuck out. This shit is bigger than what people think it is.
You know what's crazy? I keep hearing
because his level of intelligence is so low that if that's his plan, and I'm probably sure that there's experts telling him that ain't how it go. Because first of all, none of us snuck here. We was kidnapped. So you got to start right there. Anything with the go back, we was kidnapped. So that's compensation. So they're never going to kick no black people out of America. They'll never do it. They'll never ever do that, because in order for them to do that, you gotta start with the kidnapping. They don't want to talk about none of that. They're taking it out of the books. They're taking it out of the schools. They're saying the kids of today.
I don't know why. I don't know. These niggas, they look, they're wise. They send them motherfucking robots to your door and tell you got 10 seconds to come out. You gonna bring your ass
coming out. You ain't got no choice. You coming out.
All right then. That's it. Once they lock your ass in that van and take you underground, about 200 miles underground, you're done.
Hold on, let me see this.
Don't tell me they can't do it.
We paid our dues. No African American, as they call us or as we call ourselves, or nobody with ancestral slave history in this country is getting put out, because none of us asked to come here. None of us snuck here. We was forcefully brought here and forcefully kept here. Remember, Marcus Garvey was turned into what he was turned to because they had a problem with him saying go back to Africa, because that was a threat. So when they tried, they killed you for trying to leave. Remember, people tried to leave. That was a problem. So what he want to do is just go back 1920s to the 1960s.
Yo, look at your man doing right here. Look.
Everything. Y'all do what I say and stay in y'all place.
Check out what they trying to do right now.
Every possible measure. He has already failed every test that he has been given, right? We've got bird flu. The egg prices are going out of control. He went to Davos, Switzerland, and made a total ass of the entire country on the global stage. So it's been a crap show, to put it mildly. Nevertheless, 3 days into Trump's administration, on Thursday, Republican Representative Andy Ogles put forth a constitutional amendment in Congress that would allow Donald Trump to serve a third term in office. Now, don't get your hopes up, because his amendment to the Constitution would not allow all presidents who serve 2 terms to seek a third term. No. His amendment says that only if somebody served 2 non-consecutive terms would they be allowed to run for a third. So, unfortunately, obviously, that means Barack Obama could not run again. Bill Clinton could not run again. George W. Bush could not run again. Not that that's unfortunate, but only Donald Trump would be.
Look at that. See, certain rules. He gonna try to do something
crazy for that too, dog. They clowned him so bad for even suggesting that's stupid. Not that it's impossible, because you never know what they get passed when they got the House and the Senate.
But see, that go to show you a lot of things he did put through may not even go through. That's why it's stuff. The amendments, all that he signed all them. He just signed it just to try to put it through, but it may not. They might Congress and might not even approve it. It's just for his base. It's to make his people be like, yeah, look, he's doing what he said he was going to do. But once it go on, the people look, man, come on, get this out of here. Like birthrights, citizen birthrights. Come on, you really think Congress gonna really change that up all these years for this dude within Nah, that's just something he just put out there because he know that's what his base want. His base want certain things like that to be out there. So you know what? I'm just gonna put it out there. If y'all approve it, if y'all don't, who cares? I don't care. I'm gonna just do it. You see what I'm saying? Those are things I believe Obama could have did back then, but he probably just knew what was the sense. Okay, I'm just appeasing my peoples, letting them know I'm doing it, but it's not gonna get it done. Then you know what I mean?
Dog.
Got 17 lawsuits already. From all them executive orders that he signed, he already got 17 lawsuits.
But Dart,
they're just gonna keep
Dart.
telling him. The Democrats gonna sue him for everything that he do. Some stuff gonna go past, some stuff not. But the money that you wasted with all these lawsuits, this dude should not have been in there. He's not qualified to run this country. He's qualified to run every company in the ground. What company has he had that didn't go bankrupt or somebody didn't lose doing business?
There are a lot of receipts.
Well,
there are a lot of receipts.
Well, he's leading the #1 company in the world right now, America. So he's good, man.
There you go.
But wait a minute, Dart. Don't get that twisted. We are not ranked #1 in the world. We are like 39. We are like 39, somewhere lower than that. We are not number one.
Company, though. That's the only reason. Yeah.
We are not number one. But back to
not an achievement, but they always call us #1 because of our military. We dominate anywhere.
But listen, our military is only as strong as it is because of NATO. All our military bases that's on go is in other countries. The military bases that's here in the US is not on go. This is just training and basic stuff. Everything that's on go is overseas. So I need you to understand that foolishness of him talking about taking us out of NATO make us sit in ducks. Make us sit in ducks. Like
what's going on in Ukraine. It ain't about just giving them money. It ain't about just giving them money.
We don't give them that much money.
You cannot let certain, like right now, people don't even know. They're not really talking about it. A lot of the CIA and a lot of the Fed is in Africa because China buying up a lot of land and making deals that United States don't agree with. There's a lot going on in Africa right now with China. They making deals in them small countries and they telling them, listen, give us this amount and y'all can just do whatever y'all want over there. But America is like, no, there'll be no whatever y'all want over there. There's a lot going on. Allegedly. I gotta make sure I say allegedly.
Hey, yo, salute the chat. Honey, I see Honey down there. What's up, Honey?
That's my homegirl.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hello. What's good? I know you got something to say.
Respectfully, I'm just listening. I thought it was going to be a different conversation, but I'm liking what I'm hearing so far.
Okay.
Now, you got something you want to say though that you want to add? You could, you here. You could have the floor. What you got to say?
What type of conversation you thought it was going to be?
Well, I can tell you right now.
A little more hostile.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be hostile. I can tell you that right now we're definitely in a constitutional crisis. Whether your representatives or your Congress people will tell you that. Some of them are afraid to say it, but that's where we are. So we have the leaky cheeks pressing the issue on every right that has been given to us. I do wish that at some point in time, when we actually had a Democratic president, that they did try to codify our rights, whether we would have 2/3 of the states or not, we should have tried. And I think that we might not have been where we are now, but I wish we would have done that. At this point, I'm not sure what can be done about this dude. So we have this Supreme Court that's definitely compromised and that has given him complete immunity as far as him doing acts of his office, which he can say everything that he's doing is that he's doing it for the American people.
That's the problem right there. He gonna keep pushing overload. He gonna just try it because he know that they told him no matter what, if you say it was in the office duty, they can't do nothing.
Exactly. So, I mean, that remains to be seen. If he's breaking the law, he can still be impeached. But I mean, at this point in time, can you trust the Republicans? No, you cannot. They'll fold every time. They've voted with him 100% of the time. So,
Well, that's one of the problems in the
But
Democratic Party. We have infighting. The people that represent us, they can't never come to a common ground the way the Republicans do. The Republicans don't care if it's a good idea or a bad idea, it's their idea. You might have one or two, but they always manage to get that one or two in line. When the Democrats had the House and the Senate, it was nothing but back and forth. And they, like you said, they had an opportunity to get some stuff done that they dropped the ball at that time.
a lot of legislation went through under Biden. A lot
thank
of
you, guys.
legislation.
Yeah,
But
that's what I was about to say.
the bad part about it that a lot of people don't realize is that the Democrats don't brag about what the hell they do, and they need to start letting people know what they're doing for them. And
this
that
dude
is the
trying to
issue.
trying to
That is the
overturn.
no, but that is the number one issue. Like people want to always say, well, the Democrats ain't done shit for you. But when you go down the list and you look at all of the shit that's being done in your communities, all of that shit came from the Democrats. Every single last thing came from the
It's just a lot
Democrats.
of times people don't take advantage of the opportunity
Yeah,
that
they
they
don't
that's
take
out there.
advantage.
They'll take advantage of it.
And it doesn't help that they don't
They
promote
snatch them
themselves the
damn
right
food
way.
stamps away.
Exactly.
You take the
They
food
believe
stamps
this
away and
foolish
all that
media.
other shit. They're gonna start paying attention then.
What I need everybody to do is to look up Smitler. And I'm not saying his name right because on most social media you cannot say his name. But if y'all look him up
That guy.
and look up how he took over Germany, you see this playbook.
Yeah.
Even though he learned it from America. But you can see the playbook.
Have you guys ever read the 16 characteristics of fascism?
I did.
Trump meets every one of them. Every one of them.
They say, yeah, him and Elon. Yeah, I mean, it's right there in our face. And I mean, some people, even some of the people that's on his team, just don't want to see it.
Yep.
That Elon shit was crazy.
Yeah, Elon saluted right there in front of everybody.
Proud of that shit.
That revolted against America. The wildest thing I ever seen in this country in my 54 years. I never saw nothing like January 6th. Never.
When I was here the last time and try to tell people they voting with white supremacy, they didn't want to hear it. Now, as soon as he get in, bam, it's right in your face. If you didn't know it the last time I was here saying the same damn thing, you see it now. And I'm all look, and I hate to say I told you so.
Yo,
So
this make it worse.
There's a town in Iowa, Idaho, or whatever.
He just acquitted all them
it's
January
all
6th.
white people. They all on food stamp because he talking about cutting the food stamp program and doing this and doing that.
He cutting federal funding. I need people.
Yeah.
Federal funding. That's Social Security. That is Medicare. That's Medicaid. That's Section 8. That is FAFSA. If you got a kid going to goddamn college, of that.
Housing. That's heat. That's the projects. That's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
That's
the core right there. Yeah.
Daycare funding.
I'm in the process of getting a USDA loan for a house, and it stopped. It stopped in tracks.
My brother told me, and I looked it up. Even if he pulls the money from the schools or housing or the jails or whatever, there's safety nets that's already in place. There's already money there to keep that going if the federal funding gets pulled. I didn't know that. So even if he pulled the money, none of them things is going to shut down right away, but it's certainly not enough money there to sustain it.
Not in some states. In some states, they live month to month off of federal funds. So
yeah, because they pour it. They pour it.
Yeah, Oklahoma is one of them. Oklahoma is one of them, and 66% of the population of Oklahoma is on some type of welfare.
Louisiana too. Louisiana's the same way.
Wow.
And Memphis. Memphis is poor, but got one like section with like a 1% where everybody got money, but most of Memphis is like you said, is dependent completely on federal funds.
Memphis is a city.
In New York,
Memphis is a city.
Cities, all the lien money, like when the city put a lien on your stuff, and when they confiscate stuff, that money goes into these emergency funds, which I didn't know.
Well, what people need to realize that New York and California basically supports this country.
Yes, did read New York
Or
and
is the
California,
GDP? Yes, sir.
especially California, because the movie industry gives so much money back with their whatever they got going. I did read that, and they mostly vote Democratic for whatever reason. I don't know why.
What you mean you don't know why? Voting
I don't
Republican.
know what's the reason that they give. I never heard nobody that represent them say, well, this is the reason why we such and such and such. But I just know that a lot of them go swing towards the Democratic way.
Hey, yo, Ralph, I got a
Because
question.
people
Hey, yo,
that's
Ralph, you still
artistic,
there?
Yeah,
people
I'm here.
that's
Ralph,
artistic normally care about people.
So it's the thespian in them?
It's the humanity in them.
Well, ain't that like the same thing as being a thespian? You care about humanity and all kind of whatever?
No, that means you're going to care about everything.
Okay.
hey, yo, Ralph, I got a question for you, bro.
Shoot,
You still
twin.
there? Yeah,
Yep.
yo, how you feel, man? Because, these is your peoples, really. You connected from the roots, How you
Again,
feel like somebody been over here for 30 years, paying taxes, doing what they supposed to do, never did a crime, and just, been get ran down by ICE, kicked out the
it's
car,
sad. It's sad. You don't see
straight out.
this kind of energy. You just don't see this kind of energy happening in Brighton Beach. You don't see this kind of energy happening in Massachusetts. You don't see this
Yeah.
kind of energy happening in Alabama. You don't see it nowhere. All right. You don't see no Irish folks getting round up or any
They definitely
Russians
not
or
running down on
Ukrainians.
nobody in Boston.
Definitely
There
not.
is 1.8 million Russians that has overstayed their visas here in this country, and
So
you don't hear about them.
the way he
At
going
all.
about it, they saying it ain't no European criminals. Because look, don't misunderstand my point. First of all, if you're here illegally, the law is the law, right? So let's
Right. I'll
be
agree with
fair.
that.
Let's be fair. The law is the law. So again, most people that's here legally, they try not to do certain moves because they know they get caught up, they gonna get deported, right? So if you gotta go, you gotta go. But what I'm saying is distribute the putting out evenly. If you're gonna start with the putting out all the criminals, put out all the criminals, not just a certain section of criminals.
So we
Thank
didn't
you.
get no people from Ukraine? We ain't getting no people from out there?
They're not getting nobody in none of those neighborhoods. They
Nah,
not
I'm
going to
talking about the U.S. When the war was going on. U.S. didn't accept none of them?
You think
over
there's
here?
nobody in Brooklyn that only speak Yiddish? You cannot tell me there's nobody in those communities
They
that
here,
don't
but
speak
just like they
Yiddish.
said, they not going after them
They're not going
Right.
after them.
because they
At
the
least not
same
in this
shade.
volume, not
Yeah.
this way.
Listen,
So that's not
Not the
fair.
way they
listen.
coming after
That's
Hispanics.
the part that's not fair. Now
You know
again,
what?
a criminal is a criminal. A criminal is
Right.
a criminal. A foreign criminal, a local criminal. The law is the law. You get caught here, even if you don't commit a crime, you get caught up with your name in a certain thing and you overstep your visa, you supposed to go. I don't have no problem with that. You know what I
No,
mean?
me
And
But
neither.
when you're doing this
Not
whole
to cut you.
moral
Not to
crackdown, that
not to cut you. What's up? What's up, panel? What's shaking? Frankie Boo,
FB,
vertical
what up?
talk.
Frank,
SB, what's
Salute.
up?
my
What's
What's
shaking?
brother,
up,
What's
man?
shaking? What's shaking? Love to the panel.
Salute.
I think salute, King. I think one of the things that you just said that's very important is the fact that the focal points, you dig, like at one point in time, you know what I'm saying, when it was the Russians or the Chinese or even the Arabians, when they made themselves a point of of I'm gonna say when they made that self a focus point with the whether it was the criminal activities and so forth and so on. It's no different from like the gangs, you know. At any given moment, whoever's the hottest on their list because they're doing, you know what I'm saying, criminal activities or their faces or their crimes are being at the forefront of what the American people are saying or what the media is pushing out, then that's what they're going to make their designated target. You know what I mean? The influx, I believe, you know what I'm saying, with the influx of the individuals from these, Latin countries or these uh, these migrants or whatever the case may be, they're coming over and they're doing a bunch of things that, you know what I'm saying,
You're breaking up,
placing
Frank.
the American people in a poor. They place the people at a point. Like, so people over here killing. I mean, they're doing, all sorts, they're bringing all sorts of, so forth and
Is
so
it
on.
me or
I
is he
mean,
really breaking up?
He
Nah,
is
he
breaking
breaking
up.
up. You're going in
He
now.
went
You
out
breaking up.
bad.
breaking up. Oh,
Yeah, my
man.
bro. He from. Yeah. Go ahead, son.
Nah, basically, I'm just saying that I just believe that what makes them a top priority target on the list. I don't believe that it's just the fact of them, being migrants.
So
It may
you
be,
saying it what's trending right now? All these stories, motherfuckers getting burned up by them, and
right, right.
and snatching pocketbooks and dragging ladies and all that. So they got to make a point, right? But that's
Believe
yeah. I mean,
I
That
believe
can't
that
help it.
that's I
That,
believe that I believe that's a factor. I believe that that's one of the factors that, not only have a person with agenda. Let's just say that Trump's primary agenda was to do that anyway. But now when you got the American people saying, yo, hold up, what's going on? Not, it heightens the impetus for him to do it. It gives him the fluid of, the how you say it, the charcoal fluid to say, okay,
mm,
now I got people behind me. Now, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
wanted to do this anyway, but now with the
Mm.
American people hollering out, now I could definitely do it. So it exacerbates it.
Trump's
and
Trump's
I,
um end goal is not deportation. That's not his end goal. His end goal
Oh
is
no,
to
without question.
imprison. His end goal is to imprison these people and use them for free labor.
mm,
He's not trying to send them anywhere. Right now,
mm.
he's
Oh
asked for.
Right now he's
shit.
deporting them. Right
Right
now
now,
the
he's
planes is
asked.
going out.
Right now,
The
he's
planes is
yeah.
going out.
That's just a few planes, but he's asked for 30,000 beds at Guantanamo
and
Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
There's
Mm.
And
there's
and
there's
Do that
and
today. He's not processing them.
hold on just a minute.
and that's not
Hold
processing
on.
them. You don't need
And I
to
live
process them to throw them out your country. He also is Abbott right now, the governor of Texas, is getting hundreds of acres so they could build
it's
camps
14
down
it's
there in
1400 it's
Texas.
1400 acres, and I live in Texas. It's 1400 acres,
Mm.
and they're gonna build tent cities like in Arizona for them. That's where they'll be.
Ooh.
I
Didn't
don't
they
Mark
think
say?
my
that
word.
I don't
Didn't they
think
say
that's
that's
far
for people
fetched.
that they can't go back to their country because they don't got nowhere to send them to? They've been here so long.
Understand? Did you? Okay, so earlier,
Some of them
Frank,
done ran
let
off
me
with
say
some
this.
money. You know they
So
can't come back. They done ran
so
off with that
so
bag.
so
You
Frank,
know they
earlier
can't come back. Yeah, nigga
so
said,
earlier,
you might
Frank,
as
I
well kill me
explained.
now. I ain't going back.
No, what's super
Wait,
sad though?
1 second, Wise.
Go ahead.
Earlier, Frank, I explained what the reason is why they going after the Latin community. It is because it is predicted that by 2030 they will be the majority in this country, and white people fear losing the majority. That's
Absolutely,
why they're
because
going after
we gotta
Hispanics.
I mean that's not far from the truth. I don't believe it's far from the truth because you gotta realize that, you know what I'm saying, they are, direct descendants from us as black people. So
Right.
black and brown.
But
So
they divided us with a language.
divided
And
us
that's
without
what people
question.
fail to realize.
Come
It's
on.
so
And
many
and
it's so
that
many
as
black Hispanics that won't even call themselves black. Like
black.
Ralph
And that's
said,
the
he's a
point.
black man that speaks Spanish.
Right.
With and it is
Uh,
so many of them that won't call
I got it
themselves
right on
black.
my job.
They
This
be
But
is
like,
see, that's
no,
what
no,
they
I'm
but see,
black,
Hispanic.
not black.
that's what they fear. That's what they fear. They fear the fact that if ever they do come to their senses or realize the fact of their real true heritage and says, oh yeah, nah, you know what? We was playing for too long. We are actually and start to define themselves as black, yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue that Europeans do not want to happen. So
But that's
again,
also how they keep our population down.
oh, without a
Mm.
question, that's why they don't want it to happen, because then they know that guess what? The minority becomes the majority.
I got them
You
right
dig?
on my job that look me right in my face and tell me they not black.
Yeah.
Well, we ask TikTok
Get that
on
a lot.
TikTok. We
Until,
ask
unt-
on TikTok. We ask every Trump supporter that we come across, especially the white T ones, if they want to be black. Would they for one day? Their answer is always no.
They know. They
until they need
know.
to. Until
Let
they
them
need
miss
to.
out. Sure.
Until they need you, right? Until they need you. You know what I believe? I believe also, man, from a spiritual aspect, you dig? Like they say, man, everything happens in its due time. And at the end of the day, it's crazy that, we as people, you know what I'm saying, regardless of where we're from, we have to go through some kind of crisis in order to either call on God or to call on our fellow man for some kind of assistance. You dig? And
Come
I
on.
just believe that. And I just believe that, you know what I'm saying, the times is that near that guess what? Everybody who has denied who they truly are or denied the history of what they are truly derived from is going to come, you know what I'm saying? How Malcolm X said it, the roosters are going to come home to roost.
Mm. All right
Yeah,
then.
It's like that Chinese man said in that video. Most of the rights and the liberties and the prosperity that non-black minorities enjoy in this country was gained by the black blood. It is just
without a
something that
question.
they got a problem with acknowledging that. I don't know what it is. It's something they got a problem with enough. But to be fair, right? Because not to throw everything off on everybody else, we
Right.
gotta do better with ourselves.
Absolutely.
Sure.
That's foremost. That's first and foremost, man. You dig? We got to begin to understand and begin to embrace. You dig that genuine, as we said with, you know what I'm saying, the low light, that love and loyalty, and really know
Mm-hmm.
what it is to understand, you know what I'm saying, that yeah, we are actual kings and queens. We have to, show much more respect, much more, you know what I'm saying, honor for that which we derive from, which we come from. I know,
It
and
it
go ahead.
starts with our money. It starts with our money. We have to buy back our communities. We have to
Yes.
support black
I
businesses.
like
We
that.
have to
See,
buy
but
from each other.
but but
Stop giving
Alot.
your money
but that's
to
where
the white
I,
I
that,
man.
that
like
that's
Attitude
where
that,
first,
Tosh.
though.
that's
I
where
like
It's the
no
that.
doubt.
I
attitude
like
Hey,
first
that.
before the money.
I just
Check
respectfully.
this video. Hold
Yeah,
on, hold
yeah,
on, FB.
yeah,
Hold on, FB. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I like that note Tasha just hit. Hold on.
We had a Black Project 2025. Hear me out. I know it sounds crazy, but this is my vision. What if all of us were to get into a group? Okay, I'm talking doctors, lawyers, engineers. There's so many of us that are so talented, and we were to work together with our own Black agenda for 2025. I'm talking opening up Black-owned grocery stores in certain cities, Black-owned banks, so that way we can actually get our home loans to do what we need to do, our own doctor's offices, our own law practices, and we really were to just congregate and push towards our goals and our outcomes, right? And so this is how I envision it going. We can all get into this group. We can all donate what we have to donate on a monthly basis. And then basically we can have a CEO, we can have a CMO, and we can have a CFO that's in charge of leading the groups with the initiatives, right? We could have bi-weekly, monthly calls in regards to where we stand with our goals. So, okay, guys, we want a Black-owned grocery store in Los Angeles built and developed, August 2025. This is where we stand. This is how much we have funded. This is what's needed. This is where we are in the process. And we just go from there. And so we can just kind of congregate. And then on top of that, in this group, we could also just have a massive directory of Black-owned businesses. So that means that everyone that joins this group swears off of purchasing from these large corporations. I'm talking Black-owned coffee brands, clothing, everything you guys can think of, toiletries, like down to everything, like body washes, everything we use and consume on a daily basis. It is no longer purchased from these large corporations. It is purchased from one another. And I think that we can create so much wealth amongst ourselves just by strictly swearing off of supporting large corporations and only supporting one another, and also congregating to create our own agenda. Now, I know that there have been people who have tried to do this before in the past, and I know that we struggle as a community to trust one another. I don't really care about all that right now. I just personally feel like if we are able to put our pride aside and get it done, I feel like it could be one of the most impactful things done in Black history, because as a community, we just become that much more tight knit. Do you get where I'm coming from? I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but I just feel like this is something that we should do. And I feel like I feel very strongly about the ability for us to transform our community and the perception of, African-American individuals if we were to really finally come together. What if we had a Black Project 2025?
Yeah, that's powerful.
Hey, yo.
So that is really happening. It is really happening. I don't know how many of y'all are signed up, but it's really happening. And there are dues that are to be paid monthly. I'm already in it. I'm not sure if Honey is in it.
Yeah, I already signed up. I signed up the first week.
Yeah, what
And
is,
so did I.
That's what's up. That's what it's all about, man. Solidarity. It's
Yeah,
time to unite. So
that's
it's
what I
time to
question.
unite, bro. You ain't gonna be able to survive if you don't unite. People don't see that shit. You want to be ignorant,
and
selfish. You're gonna be by yourself.
And that's why I was gonna, a little earlier, I was gonna respectfully disagree with Tosh in her comment, because, what I'm saying, no, without a question, you're absolutely correct where it takes, what I'm saying, the bread and the individuals formulating some type of unified structure in order to pursue this, what I'm saying, vision that the sister just spoke about. And my thing is that that's going to take a recondition of the minds and the hearts. We gotta realize, man, with a lot of our Black people, although they run around here acting like they thugs and gangsters, you dig, they soft. You dig, mentally, what I'm saying, they soft. You know what I mean? Physically, they soft. And that's just been something that has been ingrained in a lot of our Black men from the Willie Lynch syndrome. It's become hereditary. It's become, hereditary in the sense that it's now in the genes.
It's
So
indoctrination.
and
But
indoctrination,
they've been breeding it in us from the moment we walked into their schools. So
Absolutely.
it's time for us to truly take our meaning of woke back and get some consciousness in our communities. But
And
it's hard when you talk to people and they don't want to listen.
absolutely. But this is where I was going with the second part. Nothing. Even, what I'm saying, because you mentioned, the sister mentioned about things that's happened in the past, and we can never forget the past, because the past is supposed to, what I'm saying, enlighten us, what I'm saying, or, uh, be able to give us guidance for what we may or must do in the future or in the present in order so the past won't happen again. And I know a lot of conversations that I have with a lot of my men, what I'm saying, in the book clubs that I've, been a part of while I was in prison on this one was, what I'm saying, where, what I'm saying, Malcolm may have went wrong at certain points of our other great leaders, the activists. And I think and one of the situations was that he was asking for civil rights as opposed to human rights. And with that,
That's Martin.
smart. And with that being said, it's like, okay, yeah, well, it was cool for them to say, oh, they wanna eat at Woolworths at the tables with us. Well, let them. They wanna crap in the same bathroom. We'll let them. But what we won't let them do is get financial stability like
But
us, because
but
now,
but Frankie, they don't promote that side of Martin because he realized where he went wrong, and that's why that's why
without a
he was
question.
killed,
But that's
because
what,
they knew
nor do
he
we,
knew his mistake
nor do
and he
we,
knew
we may be
he was
speaking
trying to
about it.
correct it.
We may be speaking about it, but these are other avenues. You dig? Like I hear a lot of our individuals, we speak on the media, and until we start to formulate our own source of media, you dig what I'm saying? Like Malcolm X or like Marcus Garvey, to begin to, promote what our agendas is and what we need to be doing. You dig? We're not going to have, the reason that people like on this panel, I'm going to say, 45 to 55 and older. You dig? We had the poor righteous teachers. We had the ciphers on the block. We, we came, we in that rap, in that rap, in the rap genre, you dig what I'm saying? When we was
It was
coming up,
knowledge
we
in
had
that
we
shit.
had the knowledge and the wisdom.
Yep.
You dig, so we
Word
was
up.
able to formulate an
Terrorist One,
understanding
Rock
that
Kim. Word up.
makes us a little bit more well-rounded than those of today. Those of today, all they listening to, and it's no disrespect to the Migos or any of these other rap dudes that's just talking this, what I'm saying, pure
Just a bag of
garbage.
air.
Yeah, you dig what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, man, it's a lot of avenues, man. A lot of avenues that have to be revamped in order to really, you know what I'm saying, get, the ball that we would like to see. I would like to see it before, the most high call me, to paradise. But, there's just so much that has to be done, man. And it starts, like when it comes, Charleston White said something maybe a few months ago when he was speaking, when somebody asked him a question about, the Oprahs and the people that got the bread. You know what I mean? The LeBrons and so forth and so on. And some of these astrophysicists and so forth and so on. And he said that, yo, man, before his comment was that, a lot of these people that got this bread, they signed disclaimers before, like, we'll give you this bread, but you can't go and promote anything of goodness or give money to no urban city areas in the United, because that's not what they want. Why is it that Akon, even though Akon is from Africa, you know what I'm saying, or Oprah, Oprah, you from here. Why you going to Africa to build a school when we need many schools here?
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of our people,
Yeah,
these
I
same
gotta
black
put my
people,
1-2 out there.
yeah, you did. But at the end of the day, guess what? What does it do for the same country? And that's one of my thing with the migrants. I don't have no problem. If we had the excess of money in this country to do, for them, cool, because I know a lot of them are being oppressed in them third world countries. They're not eating, they're being
Right,
dictated by
right,
so
right.
forth and so on. But when you got people right here, still Africa, in certain little back road country towns that's getting water out of water wells still, really don't even have a tower where they can have cellular services. Don't, just so many other things, man. You dig what I'm saying? That American people need. And like somebody said earlier, that we as black people, black and brown people, have fought for, died for, sweated for, toiled for on this land, in this land. Yo, nah, I can't say that I could place them or allow you to be placed before us. You dig, and utilizing our family's money, taxes, and so forth and so on, and feel up good about it. You dig what I'm saying? I empathize with their situation, but yo, until we're right, you dig, how the hell can we get anybody else right, especially with the money that we're giving, you know what I'm saying, or our families is giving out of their taxes and so forth and so on.
And see, that's where you look at it. Things like when you say that, you got to say now, when Trump sit there and he arguing, saying, "Yo, we doing this for the country, for USA, this or the third." That's what he trying to get people like a Frank or somebody that's on the fence saying, "Yo, why should I mess with this dude?" Well, you know what? Oh, he doing it for USA. He doing it for our country. That mean if he gonna make our country better, that mean he doing it for us. He getting everybody out and making it just about us and getting all the terrors and all that coming back to us. We getting everything. He making look
And
like he doing it for us.
but here's the real thing. He's about to crash our economy again. And that's what people are not realizing. Those, if Frank, it's not just us that's paying taxes. First of all, them people didn't run across the border. They walked to that border. They got ITN numbers. That's how they are able to work. They contribute $100 billion into our taxes, and
And they
they
ain't
do
even
not get the
the
file
foundation of
taxes. They do not even get the file taxes under them ITN numbers. And then now these people were working. So now our unemployment rate has just jumped up. So you crashing our damn economy.
Jasmine Crockett said that
You're
today.
hurting the country more than you're helping the country.
I have
Jasmine
a few.
Crockett said we get ready
I
to
have
have
a few things to
a
say.
Go ahead,
I have a
honey.
few, hello.
Go ahead. You
Number
can go.
one, there are plenty of cities in the United States that are for sale. Up to four individuals can be on a real estate loan. People don't know
Facts.
that. They think you just have a bar and a co-bar, but you can actually have four people on a real estate loan. Also, I feel like this. Um, we as Black people, I'm just gonna tell you that right now I have a trust issue with us, and that comes from Blagger because I talked to too many of them. It's like I can't trust them. It's like I can't trust them, and I don't know how you separate yourself from somebody that looks like you. I say that about our Hispanic brothers and sisters. I'm not sure how they separate themselves from us, but I do know this, that we're at a crossroads right now, and the way we're going to be controlled is by the food. So if you guys aren't familiar with food deserts, I'm going to encourage you to look that up because that's what's coming. Especially to the inner cities. They're gonna stop food being trucked in there first. That's a place where you can't really grow a garden. That's where you can't have a cow in the backyard. That's where you can't have a chicken coop to grow eggs. You know what I'm saying? So
So
we need
yeah,
to start solving these things right now immediately and not even worry about what Trump is doing right now, what he's going to write down
facts,
because he's
Yeah,
already
you right.
showing.
big facts, big
You
He's
right.
showing.
facts,
You right.
big facts.
I
Yeah,
ain't
because
gonna
you
Dig,
lie.
think about that when
big
she talking about
facts.
the delivery. Just imagine all the Mexicans and the Spanish people that do deliver from them fruit, them farms of fruit, vegetables. The place that we as black people, oh, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting on back in no
Right.
truck and delivering. I'm not doing.
He been working on the farms,
So now
cutting
if
Right.
we don't do
strawberries
Ain't
that,
and all
nobody
that
picking
shit.
that shit.
that
Yeah,
price
It's
gonna
already
go
everybody
up.
picking
happening.
that shit.
Drunk is
Yeah,
already
Ain't nobody
happening.
gonna be
People
picking it.
scared to go to
no,
work.
See,
people gonna
and
pick it,
this,
but the thing
and
is, price gonna
No,
go up because
it's the
now one
Hispanic
person
people
picking it.
that picks it.
it's
They not gonna be. It's
exactly,
nobody
it's
gonna
the
be there
Venezuela.
picking it.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
saw what was we got an example to what is going to happen when Ron DeSantis ran them
Yep,
up
in
out of
Florida.
Florida.
Yep. Facts.
Hey,
Yep.
hey, yo,
And
you know
but
what's
They
this
was
is
crazy,
about
building
to
bro?
all
be
the houses.
nationwide.
They
And
was
what's going to
building
make
all
it
the houses.
even worse? What's going to make it even worse? They going back on strike. Why I can't think of who, honey, who going back on strike again? That was just about to do it before Christmas. Longshoremen. They going back on strike.
Oh
Longshoremen going
goodness,
bad, yeah, and
we don't need
They
them
going
going on
back on
strike.
strike.
that's gonna
Well,
be
So
look,
ugly.
now are we
That's gonna be ugly.
we not going to be able to move nothing in this country.
And you know what's
When I
crazy?
tell
And
you this man is about to crash our economy, and what he want everybody to do is to wild out and start tyranny
civil
in this
unrest,
country
civil unrest.
so he can call
Martial
martial law
law.
and
Yep.
suspend the damn constitution.
And no president, no
facts.
voting. We don't need to vote or nothing because it's
Yeah,
crazy right now.
yeah.
All this got to be
It
ceased.
becomes a dictatorship. I mean,
Yep.
it's already a dictatorship. But yo, you know what's crazy? Because for you know what I mean, and this is one of the reasons that I really made my transition to the individual by the grace of Allah that I am now. Think, you know what I mean? Like I was listening to Cameron, you know what I'm saying, a few years back, a while back. He made this comment for, you know what I'm saying, and I want to believe that he made it consciously. I want to believe that it wasn't just a rap. And he said, man, all we know is whips and chains. Now look at us. All we want is whips and chains.
Mm.
You know, and that shit to me was like profound, like word, because, you know, I was one of them individuals that, you know what I'm saying, for a large part of my life, especially my adolescent life, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got to get the latest, you know what I'm saying? You know, the cleanest crib or, you know, the whip or the chain, you know what I mean? And that was one of the things that I even, you know, that took precedence. Like when I came, you know what I mean? When I got out of New York and I'm like, oh shit, they get a motherfucking 3-bedroom, you know what I'm saying, apartment for, you know what I'm saying? 900, 800 while up top, you know, you spending up, I've got roaches and rats for neighbors, you dig? So, you know, we start to put a little bit more value on things. But yeah, man, that kind of got me in my mind when I would have been like, yo, you know what, like that shit is goofy, you know, and we looking at the wrong thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like how I think it was a movie called Swordfish, you know, and they say, yo, if you give a person something to look at, you know what I mean, you distract them from what the real picture is. You dig what I'm saying? And they've been doing that to us as, you know what I'm saying, Asiatics for so long. So I definitely respect and appreciate the wisdom that I hear coming off this panel because it's not too much. Like a lot of times, you know, for me, we only heard this in the walls of them on them confined cells with individuals who had now became a part of that system of learning inside a prison, you know. So to hear, you know what I'm saying, my brothers and sisters on this panel right now, you know what I'm saying, you know, after being home for this, you know, 5 months or whatever the case may be, it's refreshing. You know what I'm saying?
Salute,
And
salute. That's
it's
5
refreshing.
months strong.
Yes, sir.
Or yeah, yeah,
We
Yeah.
proud of you,
Yeah.
Frank, man. That's what's up,
Well, you
man.
know, Ving Rhames said in that movie
On that
that
note,
we conditioned to not know the difference between the butter and the gravy. We love shit that lose value the minute we spend a penny
wow,
on it.
Mm.
absolutely.
We don't know
That's
nothing about things that mature because we haven't been taught that. If you don't come from money, you're really not going to know nothing about money. because nobody taught you nothing about money, right? So most of us know how to struggle and manage because all our life we've been struggling and
Struggle
managing.
and managing.
So we've been taught
Absolutely.
how to manage,
Absolutely.
not how to
But what
live.
we got, right. But you know, it goes back to the system. She said the distrust. The distrust is so prevalent, man, and in our
It,
Asiatic communities, man, that
Yeah.
the
it's
person
because
don't.
all skin folk is not kinfolk. You gotta
That's what
understand,
I'm
Mm,
people.
saying. FD.
mm.
Before we
When
put our money together, we gotta start thinking different. Before
no,
anybody
wait a minute,
try to
Wise.
build,
You don't understand. When I tell you this is what I do, Honey and I are on TikTok talking to so many Trump supporters all day. I mean, I spoke to one the other day that said, y'all community. Y'all
a lot of them is
community.
irrational though. Like
Listen, y'all community. He said, but he's listen. They are. They feel like they're not us, especially the one I spoke to. He was married to a white woman, so he already separating himself, thinking his kids ain't black. All of that. That's self hate. We can't. Everybody that has our skin color just can't go with us. You gotta go understand. This goes all the way back to Harriet Tubman.
Tubman.
She
And
had to lay
there we
some of
go.
us down
you
so
gonna
we
be
could,
There
free
we
or you gonna
go.
so
be
she could
dead.
free
There we
I
some.
love
go.
that. You gonna be free or you gonna be
That's where
dead.
they go to quick. And I was
Allegedly.
gonna say that earlier when she was speaking on the fact of how do we, you know what I'm saying, separate these from those. And it's sad to say that, you know, the Harriet Tubman, the Nat Turners, the Gabriel Process, you think like, yo, bro, there's no, you know, with a person that truly wants something, and this is again, man, we, you know, those are men and the females, you know what I mean, on this panel, even coming up, like you said, we had to survive and manage with what we had. We had to fight. You dig? And this is not to, you know what I'm saying, promote any kind of violence. So let's let that be straight right now. But I understand that as it is above.
Hello?
So with that being said, is that guess what? There's never gonna be no good without some kind of bad. And there's never going to be no
Right.
peace without some kind of war. So at the end of the day, we as Asiatics have to already, and that's what I meant about earlier, our hearts have to be reconditioned, our minds have to be reconditioned to know that guess what? Anything that I'm willing to stand for or want or need, we're going to have to fight to get that. We're going to have to fight to get that. And that may, and
And
it
by
may
all means
and
necessary.
there we go. So at the end of the day, this is not a campaign for the weak. We can't be sitting here, you know, we could talk all day, but that's what I mean. A lot of our brothers, we got sisters that I salute my sisters. We got sisters that's stronger than the niggas and I say niggas because that's what they feel like. Their courage is that of a nigga. You're scared. You dig? You're scared, and you'll sit out here and you'll kill me. You'll kill the dude that look like you. But as soon as you go in, I've seen it over and over again, and them white
They
people
humble
ask you,
themselves to that white
you
man.
humble, yeah, you dig. So at the end of the day, I'd have had sisters that had to jump in front of dudes and say, yo, nah, we ain't going for that. I'm like looking at the dude like, huh? Like, so yeah, at the end of the day, man, you know, it's just we living in a sad time. And without a question, you know, again, you know, Allah is the best of knowers, best of providers. He's the omnipotent and the omnipresent. To him I give my glory and praise. So whatever he has in store, you know, I'm just sitting and I guess humbly waiting, man, you know, and hoping that, you know, there's something that we can see besides the fact of a bunch of people cheering and happy and elated and all gleefully, you know what I'm saying, up and giddy about what they claim to be the first black president or something that really didn't, for me, didn't really provide any kind of substantial help for those of us that truly needed it in these urban cities of America. You know, so yeah, man, I think we just, you know, we focus on the wrong
One day
things.
I'm gonna give you the list because you don't even understand. First of
Not
all,
to step on
yeah,
your point, FB.
I,
I
I
think
need y'all to understand that he couldn't come in talk about he the black president and he couldn't be the black people's president. He had to hide the things that he was doing for us. If you could ever get your hands on the original Affordable Care Act to truly understand what he was trying to do for us, and how they
He
chopped it up
wasn't
to
the
get rid of so much,
president of the
so
United
he
States.
didn't do for our community. The number one thing he was trying to do on the Affordable Care Act, and they wouldn't pass it, was to take that question off them job applications, because it's none of your business. Because when
Word.
them people do their time,
Hey, hey,
it
hey,
shouldn't
hey, hey,
even matter. They did their time, it's over with. They trying to get a job. Let them have a job. Now here it
However, for the
is. You want to
qualifications.
Exactly.
stop these
Still got an
felons
answer
from
to all this shit?
hey, yo,
I
you
think
want to stop
the number
these.
one thing he gave black people, in my opinion, is hope. Because
No, I'm talking about the things that he was really trying to do, and they
you
was
dig?
fighting him on it so bad.
That's my
well,
point.
they
That's my
told him
point.
from the door knob. They told him from the
Understand,
door knob.
Mitch McConnell said as soon as he became president that he was going to block everything he wanted to do, because he was going to be a one-term president.
They
So
wrote a
the
letter.
fact that he
The whole
did two,
Republican Party wrote
this
a
is what.
letter and gave it to him and said, "Listen, I don't give a f what you do. Whatever you for, we against, and that's it." They told him straight up and down. Whatever you
Sheesh.
for,
So,
we're against.
so,
That's it.
so,
One
so,
second,
so, so, what does that tell
one
you?
second, Frank,
Or what does that
honey,
tell
what
us?
you
Go
were
ahead.
saying?
Barack Obama is the reason why we no longer have predatory lenders in our communities.
Oh yeah,
Yes, he helped me. He helped me. Capital One trying to say I owed him
Barack Obama
$27,000.
is why just because that black man was president. Understand, white supremacy is serious in this country. To understand how sacred the presidency was. When Barack Obama got elected, racism has ruled since. We are dealing with Donald Trump simply because of Barack Obama. If he would have never been president, if that
yeah.
black man was not in that White House,
And
trust
then
me, we would
and
not be dealing with the
Let me,
likes of Donald fucking Trump. It
I
is
want
no way that
so
dude could have ever been president.
so
I want to
so that
make,
go to
I
tell
want
you. I mean, so what happened where did all the votes go? That's why I mean,
I'm
you
gonna
gotta
tell
blame
you,
the
yo,
people,
no,
because where all
listen,
the votes
listen,
when
no,
there we
Obama
go.
ran?
no,
Where were all
they
these
didn't
people at?
want to vote for a black woman. I don't care what nobody say. That was all about not voting for a black woman and not putting a
But the
black woman in
podcast
charge.
bros hate women too.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yes, that's
podcast
correct.
bros hate women too. So that
Exactly.
20% of black men, they said all they needed was 20% of the black vote.
And that's where I was going
One
earlier.
out of five, 1 out of 5 black men voted for Donald Trump. You have a problem.
Mm.
Problem.
Hey, yo, and I'm speaking to a lot of people, and I'm gonna jump from a few things. Those 1 out of 5, you got to realize that 1 out of 5, a lot of probably those 1 out of 5 was the individuals that say, you know what? Because even I said, you know what I respect about whether it's a gay person that's straight out with it as opposed to a closet gay, is that I know who you are. You know what I respect about Trump in certain aspects is that he's in a lot of aspects, man, he's just candid. It just rolls off his tongue. And I'd rather know you for a snake than not to know you as a snake. You dig? When it comes to certain situations, you dig, like with Barack Obama, I feel like this. If you can't make, and I hear you, Tosh, when you say he did this, he did that. But when you got a hand to do something, I'm not saying that all hands, because guess what? Sometimes you don't let your left hand, or you can't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. However, when it becomes something that can change, that can cause a paradigm shift in a people, that can become that can create the circumstances that now we're even if we're not looked at as equal, we're forced to be reckoned with. That's what I respect, and I take that just back to when I first became a part of the game. You dig? When we
Well,
were being
I don't respect shit of Donald Trump, because guess what? I'd rather have a do nothing president, if that's what we're gonna call Barack Obama, than a motherfucker writing bills, taking my people's rights away.
You
yo,
gotta
listen,
understand.
yo, listen. At the end of the day, let me ask this question. Let me ask this question right now. If a person came up to you right now, you walked out of that building right now, and just with their hands, I ain't talking about with no weapon or nothing, they tried to come and take your pocketbook. Are you gonna let them take your pocketbook with no weapon?
No,
You're gonna fight. All right, then. So my
they're not
thing
gonna
is,
take my
if we
pocketbook
don't
with
fight,
something, because I got one.
if we ain't willing to fight
Right.
for what we want, what we desire, how the fuck do you think we could keep? Put my foot. We could keep after these people who ain't never gave us nothing in the first place. This is what my people have come to the point where they're welfare recipients. They sit here and they keep
No,
asking
we're
questions.
not. Frankie,
That's what I know.
Frankie,
No,
Frankie,
what I'm looking
Frankie,
at. I'm using that
Frankie,
as an
I need you
analogy.
to
I'm
stop.
using that as an
We're
analogy.
not. We're not. You're falling for the propaganda. You're
No, I'm
falling
not
for the
falling for
propaganda.
anything.
Yes,
Listen,
yes, you are.
no, my
Because
thing is
it's
this. My thing is this, sis. You're not hearing me. I'm not saying what I'm saying
we are
is in a
not
literal
welfare
sense.
recipients. We
No,
are
what I'm
not.
saying,
I
welfare.
need you to
Listen.
understand that we're not welfare recipient.
Okay.
The most educated demographic right now in this country is Black women. We are
No, I'm
not
not saying
sitting
it in
on
that
welfare.
He
sense.
might have been
What I'm
I
saying
need
saying,
that
you to
I'm not
understand
metaphorically.
saying.
this.
I said,
Nah,
Frankie,
no, you
Frankie,
didn't hear me.
I need
You
you to
didn't
hear what
hear
I'm
me.
he
saying.
You
might have
didn't
meant
hear
We
me.
that
are
No,
not.
you
metaphorically.
didn't hear me. You didn't hear me. You didn't hear me.
He
I
might have
said
wanted
it.
to
It was
say,
an
he might have was
analogy.
saying
Hold
that
up. It was
metaphorically.
metaphorically
Oh,
as an analogy. We're so used to people giving us
Giving us stuff.
the
Yeah.
scams, the scam. If I can sit here and wait for this person to send me this, then why should I go out
Yeah.
here and do this? You dig? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying literally. And I said
That's
that, but you
basically
may
what the
not have heard me.
Democratic
but
Party kind of do all the
Exactly.
time.
So
no,
that's ex
no, it's not what the Democratic Party do all the time. What it is that people refuse to understand their power in their vote, and the
but
power
how can
starts. Even I need. Wait a minute. The power starts. People want to look at the president and say the president got to do. If you don't power the president with all of the people
absolutely right without a
lower than
question.
him, and I mean, I can count how many people I know that are active in the goddamn PTA in the school,
Mm,
Yeah.
the
make a
leadership
point.
boards on how that money
Make a
is
point.
spent in your child's school. You can
Tosh,
count how many people you know is active in that shit.
Make a
Part of
point.
Yep.
the
That's a
problem
point.
is, part of the problem,
So the point, my point being is, if you
That's the point.
goddamn line it up from the PTA president all the way up to the fucking president, then we get what we want. But if you goddamn keep only voting for the president, thinking that all of the little people don't
Yeah.
goddamn matter,
Don't
you're
count.
never
The
going to
borough
get what
Yeah,
you want.
president, your
but see, that's the thing.
councilman, you know what I
that's
mean?
That's
why
what
But
Congress don't look.
exactly
understand, the
Look,
president has
that's
limited
why
power,
Congress don't look
and you
nothing like
see this
that.
shit
understood.
You
right
don't
now
vote
with
in midterm elections. But
Understood.
the little point I'm
the
trying to make
president
is,
has limited power. I need y'all to understand. The president has limited power. Trump meant that fucking executive order that he wrote to goddamn freeze all federal loans. But at the same time, you see, Congress had to holler at him. The goddamn court system had to let him know that this shit is unconstitutional. This affecting your voters too. So now he want to pull it back and backtrack on that shit because there's
that's Trump's
checks and
Let
problem.
me.
balances. Understand
Trump,
there's
Trump
checks and
wants
balances in this country. And the
Trump.
mistake that
Absolutely.
we made, with Barack Obama is that for 2 years out of his 8 years is how long he had the goddamn House and the Senate. And we were supposed to make sure he had the House and the Senate for the whole 8, and we would have got a whole lot more goddamn done. But
Yes, sir.
I have to agree there.
because we don't fully understand how government works, we
My
want to
point.
say that he ain't
The
did shit.
midterm elections are
My
very
point.
important.
But who
So
does?
You
Let me
got
ask you a
people
question,
on
Tosh.
something like
Who
us.
do understand? The Oprahs understand, right? The LeBrons understand. The Cornell Westerns understand. These people that you just spoke about, you
Cornell
understand.
West didn't understand because what he did, he ran for president, taking goddamn votes from
What
Kamala.
what I'm
That
saying
shit is a contradiction. They don't fully
is
understand. So it's some people that understand.
no. It
Goddamn
may not.
LeBron, I'm sure
It may
LeBron
not be that.
voted for Kamala.
It may not be that they
They still,
understand, but they
you want
understand
to
what their
talk about
agenda
those people,
is.
but they're
Their
actually
agenda
one
is
vote.
their agenda. That's my point. But you see, you missing my point. My point is that even our own. It goes back to me again saying the conditioning of even our own of some of these people that we have on these pedestals that we have in these places that are supposed to be for us are conditioned by them. So their actions are totally different from what we these
Well,
do. And we're on a
you,
small,
you,
we're on a scale.
FB, right on one aspect, but you got to understand these athletes have sponsors. So it's like you said, when you under
And it,
contract and your bottom line got to change. So it's certain stuff you do got to be easy
beloved,
on because of your bottom line.
listen, beloved, anything, I got you. And you're absolutely right. And that's a form of control. So as long as you can control, you can't have your 410% to do what's must be or that you may need to do
He
in
chose to
order
be
to
a
get us up
billionaire.
out of
You
right
can't
there.
be
So
mad
then
that he
you so
chose to be a
you know what I'm
billionaire.
saying? No. But what we're speaking on is the upliftment of our people and what it would take. The sacrifices. Martin and Malcolm sacrificed their lives for the civil rights or the rights that we now squander. You
You
dig?
1000%
Hey,
right.
no, hold up. So my thing is this: even in the certain aspects, when I'm looking at aspects, I'm looking like damn, a president. I can respect the president. But if I want to be a leader of something, let me be a leader that can make a fucking real change without having to worry about nobody having no say besides those. Because now I can look and I say to my people, yo, listen, I'm asking you. I'm not worried about this. If I got to match this in
But
order to
Frank,
promote this,
I don't think you're fully listening to what Tosh is telling you. No president can affect change. There are
and that
checks and
and
balances. Hold on just a minute. There are checks and balances in our government. Okay. So he can't just do it himself, whoever he is. I don't care whoever the president is. Okay. And I also want to say there's a difference in a hand up and a hand out.
facts.
Okay. What I see with the Democratic Party is I see them providing opportunities for us, not giving us handouts and saying, oh, give me this is for free, this is for free. No, I see them giving opportunity. So we need to change our mindset. I don't understand, even just like 40 acres and a mule, that was a handout. But if somebody right now was to come to you and say, because the suffrage of your ancestors, I want to give you 5 acres of land, are you going to say, no, I don't want it?
No,
They
but
still
no,
owe us
no,
that.
No,
They never even
absolutely
They,
gave
not.
us
they do
no.
$1
still
But
owe
for
it
when
it.
you're
to
not,
us.
but guess what? Absolutely not.
But
But when
Frank,
you don't know
Frank,
what to
Frank,
do with
Frank,
it, then what?
Frank,
Yeah,
Frank,
that's what it is. If you don't
let me
work with
bring
it,
you back for a second. Now you mentioned Martin and Malcolm, right? Who did they have to sit down with? What is Martin Luther King famous for? Sitting down with JFK, right? The
Absolutely.
Civil Rights Act gets signed into law because he sat with goddamn the very politicians that we are talking about voting for, right?
Absolutely.
So understand, for change to happen, you have to do it through
There
legislation. It
has to be
has
some
to
kind of
go through legislation.
yeah.
It has to become law. It
my
has to
thing is
become law.
you're
And the
absolutely
only
right.
way we're going to get
I just think
equality is through this way. And this is
the
what
way
I'm telling
society
you.
is set up,
We
No, you
have
got
to,
me.
black men
we
ain't gonna
have
ever be
to,
fully independent.
You
It's
got
just
and
how it
yo,
is.
that's my
Frank,
thing.
you
You're
want to
right.
talk about a revolution. Well, let me inform you about this. There is no revolution of people that is going to win against the United States Armed Forces.
Without a question. No,
Not
no,
one.
the point is not
And
about
look, and to make my point, to show you what I'm talking about, you remember what happened in '85 in Philly?
without a question,
When they
but this
blew
is
up the
not
house,
about a
after they
revolution, and
blew
I
up
don't
the
want you
house,
to twist the words. I
No,
don't
no,
want you
but
to
what I
those
understand, you're
words is not
talking about a movement. You're talking
talking
about a movement. The
of,
movement
of, of
needs to be that we
for
get
us by
behind.
us.
We right, but the movement needs to be that we put the right people in place so
My
we
thing
can
is this.
have for
How
us by us. We need to get,
my,
listen, first of all, for every goddamn Chinese restaurant that's in our neighborhood, we need goddamn 2 soulful restaurants. For
yeah,
every
but
goddamn
you
nail
just
you
salon
put
in
us
our
in that restaurant.
neighborhood,
absolutely
Even
right.
even with
that's
that
what I'm
restaurant,
talking about.
Not
But
even with that
100% right.
understand,
restaurant, you
you
gotta
know
buy
who
the
gives the
supplies from
permits
them.
on these businesses? The councilmen, the aldermen. We got to get, this is what the lower government rules a lot of shit. And understand, if we're not talking to them, we don't even understand what's all available to us.
We don't
Without a
own no
question.
textiles and we don't own no distribution. So even if you got a black label, a black brand, you still gotta go outside of that community to get the material you
That
need
you
to
need.
make your product. So the way
That's
society is
true.
structured, we can always strengthen our community. We can always make each other better people. We can make ourselves better men and better women, but we ain't never gonna be 100% independent because we never
We
gonna own
can't be,
everything.
because this is not our country.
There
We
you go.
can't.
There
Mm.
you go. But
we
but
we we, we
but
is
we
but
could
so
make
much we can
ourselves.
is but because even listen, here's the thing, our dollars immediately leave
it takes 6 minutes for our money to leave
To
our
leave the
community.
community. Absolutely.
Right? It takes Jews,
Because we don't
like
own
it
nothing. We don't
recycles like
own
20
nothing.
times. But wait a minute, it recycles about 20 times before it leaves. Because again, they don't own this country. They got to outsource to somebody else too. But at least it recycles 20 times before it leaves.
And
And the
that's
same thing
because,
for the Asian community. It recycles because they buy from one another. And we just learn to
yeah,
recycle our money before it leaves.
you know what
Before
that
it
takes?
leaves.
It takes what
Ours
sister was talking
immediately
about
leave.
earlier. It goes back to what sis was saying earlier. We don't trust one another to do
Yep.
that.
Supporting
So if
each
that
other.
trust,
We got to
exactly.
buy from each other. And
Listen,
and
how
a young
can you
lady
tell a
in the
person
comments
who
said
doesn't
there's an
trust
app.
you
The
to
Let's
app,
buy
go
from
the
back
you?
to the
app,
beginning of what
wait,
all of us
wait a
are
minute.
saying. We got to
The
change the
young
way
lady
we
in the
think.
comments, the young lady in the comments said there's an app that promotes all black businesses. It's
Right.
called The Plug. It's called The Plug, DA Plug. And that's where you can find all black businesses. All black businesses, right? So
You know what?
whatever you're looking for, you can find it. And if we don't
Hold
start
on,
shopping
Latifa.
Every
and
business
buying
ain't
from
good
one
just because it's
another, if we don't start shopping and buying from one another and we continue to give them our dollars, give them people that don't respect us our dollars, we're not going to get ahead. And we got to
every
stop having
No,
this
every black
distrust
business
or
ain't
having
good.
issues with each other and not talking
absolutely.
to each other. We always talk
Absolutely.
about the customer service of black business, opposed to saying, I ain't shopping with them anymore. Yo, pull them to the side and be like, yo, I want to spend my money here. But listen, it has to be a certain caliber of service that makes me want to spend our money. And we got to pool our money in our goddamn communities. We got to
And
feed
some of
one
the people
another
look you
because
right in
they
your
not
face and
going to
say,
feed
get out.
us.
They'll look
Absolutely.
you right in your face and say, get out. Because another
Exactly because
thing,
of their ignorance.
another thing about us,
Again, we got to stop speaking of putting the negatives in the air. We got to stop. We have got to talk to one another. We
see
have got to talk to
that's
one
the
another.
problem. That's one of the main problems that we got in our community. We gotta
If you
address
keep
the
on
negative
saying
shit
we
we
can,
do first.
let me tell you
We
something.
have
If
to.
you keep,
We
if
got to.
let me say this, it's power in words. If you keep on saying
Facts.
we can't and we won't, we will never. We can and we will.
You know
We
what? I
can and we will.
So
respect that
let's
to a
just look.
degree.
Let me just say this real quick.
We
Let me just say
listen,
this real quick.
listen. We
Wait, 1
can
second,
and we will.
Tosh, 1 second. Let me just say this, right? All of us come from an inner city neighborhood, right? I don't know where we live at today as adults. Our neighborhoods might have been different. We grow up and move on our own. But in the hood, we know who's doing all the crime. We know. We overlook bad behavior. We overlook
Mm.
bad behavior. We like the person. That's just how it is. We know who the shooter is. We know who the hustler is. We know every person that's messing up our community. But if we like them, we overlook the bad behavior. So when we stop doing that,
I agree with that part, but at the same time, we are the problem.
But
We
that's
are
what
the okay. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Yeah, where Frank was talking about how we had leadership, when we was growing up. We had leadership because we was willing to respect and listen to our elders,
absolutely.
right? Right? But then a lot of us, when we had our kids, we didn't want nobody saying shit to our kids, and they only to listen to us and only us. So that left out the community, us helping you raise your kids. So now they don't got to listen to no fucking body but their mama and daddy. And then eventually they felt like they was grown and they ain't got to listen to their mama and daddy no more. So fuck everything you got to tell us.
But even that
And
was, I
that's
believe,
that was on us. That's on us.
even still, we were still
that was
listening to the
planned.
wrong
I
people
believe that
because
that was
all of us
planted.
went to jail. Every man on this panel right now went to jail. I went up north.
Oh, honey,
You
salute.
went up
Listen,
north.
hold on. Wise, hold on, y'all.
Yep.
This has been a wonderful conversation, man. We definitely gonna have a part two. We coming up on an hour, 45 minutes. Honey, happy birthday to your daughter. Salute to her. appreciate
Happy
you for
birthday.
pulling up,
Happy
spending some
birthday.
time
Happy
with us.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Definitely.
Happy revolution.
Tosh, when you get a chance, we'll get y'all links dropped so that people can go follow y'all on TikTok and so on and so forth. So that, because bills like this only helps everyone all the way around the board. So,
Absolutely.
we can keep kind of keep the engine going, so on and so forth. Same thing with Frank. Like, he got his platform going now, and it's more
Definitely.
so uplifting the
Mhm.
community
And
and
this is what we
Word.
need. These are the forums that's needed. You dig? Because I know that a lot of time, Tosh, you're familiar with me. We grew up. You dig? Like
We family. What you talking
without a
about?
without a question. So you dig? Like, yeah, man, this is what I think it takes because I know I had a lot of people that followed me, you know what I'm saying, when I was on my BS, you know what I'm saying? When I thought the world was against me and though I had the knowledge, I wouldn't utilize it. So for us to have, again, like I said earlier, man, a forum like this, man, where we're speaking in this kind of dialogue, man, and really, you know what I'm saying, putting a face to the issues that do exist, as well as, you know what I'm saying, putting out front those that shouldn't exist. I believe it's strong, man. I believe it can do, you know what I'm saying, some good for, you know what I mean, a lot of individuals. So with that being said, man,
Word.
that's just vertical, man.
Word.
Salute to the chat.
Amen.
Doggy
Salute
dog.
to
Salute to the
all y'all
panel.
out there. Salute to
Take
the
us out,
chat.
bro.
Chip, Dog, as
Salute.
always, like I always
Salute,
say, always
Mhm.
salute,
appreciate y'all
wide,
brothers coming up here
FB.
and
Uh-huh.
let me get my little words out. Let me be a part of this panel. I love it. Every time y'all let me sit up here, I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
We
no
Man,
doubt.
appreciate y'all, man.
No
to the
doubt.
Dog,
No
brothers,
take us
doubt.
out.
and,
This what we
and one
do, man. But again,
and one
anybody want
thing
to drop
to the
anything?
panel. One thing to the brothers and the sisters, man, the old heads, our elders, man, you know what I'm saying, that may have, participated in listening to this situation. I hope that, something that we said, man, you know what I'm saying, was beneficial to you. It resonated with you. If it didn't and you find error in it, man, don't charge it to our hearts. You dig what I'm saying? We're flawed just like you. So look, man, we just trying, man. We're attempting to do something that a lot of people ain't doing. You know what I mean? And that's just inform and be informed ourselves by the brothers and sisters that's on this panel. That
All
being
right.
said, man, Vertical Talk says, man, salutes.
No doubt, no
Salute.
doubt. So y'all
Salute,
know what it
salute.
is. Make sure y'all subscribe to Vertical Talk, Frankie Boo. Subscribe to Super Trife. Subscribe to Ralphie's Kids, the Session TV, Word the Street on YouTube. All that on YouTube. And don't forget, March 15th, you know what I'm saying? We out there, low vest shoot. We doing what we do, 2 to 10. Y'all see the flyer. We're going to be out there. We're going to do our thing and stuff in memory of our brothers and sisters we lost and the brothers and sisters that's locked up in the belly of the beast, holding it down for them. And you know how it go, man. It's ULL. Make sure y'all live life, enjoy life, celebrate life. And don't forget, man, go to www.universallowlives.com and get that merch. You know what I'm saying? Get that merch. Merch is on deck. You know how we do. Got them hats on deck. Them, all good, man. We here. So y'all know what it is, man. Y'all keep doing y'all 1-2 out there, man. Stay up, y'all.
No doubt.
Salute.
Hey.
Hey.